Good evening. Hello, JP. Um, We'll go ahead and hang out here for another moment or two, let people get into the stream. So go ahead and park about the surface here. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Today is going to be Tutorial Tuesday for Unlikely Discoveries. We're going to demonstrate some principles for finding what are essentially needles in haystacks on Elite Dangerous. We're going to look for some Wolf-Rayet stars. We're going to find some Earth-likes. We'll do some white dwarf hunting, see if we can find a couple of giants or supergiants, some black holes, and see if we can't combine any of those discoveries and maybe get ourselves an Earth-like in a black hole system, or something to that effect. It's 5 past the hour, so we'll go ahead and get ourselves started here. Parked on the IPX Omega Concern for the Wild Wild West expedition in my Anaconda, the Fiat Lux. So we'll go ahead and start exploring. We're currently located at the 4th waypoint of the expedition, which is a neutron system that actually does have an Earth-like world in it. But I want to demonstrate how we find systems like that. And so the first thing I'm going to do is take advantage of something that trips people up, and something that game designers have been taking advantage of since essentially the advent of 3D games, and that's the fact that no one ever looks up. Whenever anyone is exploring, that people will fly around like this, and there's a giant right there, actually. Check that out. We'll bookmark that for later. Notice how that's bigger than all the other stars. That's how that caught my attention. Maybe we'll stop there first on the way. Yeah, so everyone does horizontal scrolling like that, and I'm going to go ahead and pull my course to that. If we really want to find the stuff that no one's ever seen, we want to look up. And so in Elite, that's pretty simple. We just scroll the galaxy map up, for a while here, and I'm going to go ahead and actually exit the sector that we're in. So we're currently in the Foo Flea sector, and I'm just going to go up, and again, that's that middle dimension here. This is X, Z, and Y. So we're at 1,203 light years above the plane right now. I'm just going to scroll on up until we hit the next sector above where we're at. Here we go. Here's Theta. So we'll go ahead and see if we can just eyeball something interesting in the Theta sector. And we'll go to that next. We'll check out that giant, but given that it's so close to the waypoint, I expect it's already been discovered. But I do have a holy grail in this game of finding a giant with a close orbiting star that is landable and provides me with a view that allows me to get the proverbial holy grail for me, which is a sun filling the entire horizon. So I am in realistic mode right now. That's how that giant was so easy to spot. Since we are going up on the galaxy map, things are a little sparse. Not so easy to eyeball things here. I'm kind of hoping for a planetary nebula, but we may not have that luck, at least right off the bat. So of course the other thing we can do is flip over to map mode with a filter on. As you know, I like blue stars, so I have this filter on by default, OB and A types. Those will be our blue stars. I also leave protocarbon, Wolf-Rayet, white dwarf, and non-sequence, which are going to be the neutron stars, the black holes. So nothing blue in this particular region. Well, there we are. We'll zoom out a little bit. Zoom back in. There's something. It's probably going to be a neutron because it's a D-weight system, and it is. Let's see if we can find. It's decent. Got an A and a K. We'll get into finding Earth-likes in a little bit. There's a possibility there. Well, not a great one. A and F. Let's zoom out. Not a whole lot of blue stuff in this sector. I caught. This is probably going to be another neutron because it's a D weight. But it's got an M star in it. So we'll make that our first stopping point after we check out that giant. So let's go ahead and check out that giant. Just see if by any chance that giant star has a planet in close orbit. Not likely, but it's real close. Might even be just one jump away. And it is. I'm not even. No, I am going to have to get a boost off that neutron at 73. So go ahead and get out of mass lock here. Grab a boost off that neutron really quick, and then go check out the giant before we head up into the Theta sector. And again, the reason we went up like that is just to get away from other people's discoveries, because looking up is something that a lot of people don't do. Exploring.
Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged. Frameshift drive charging.
Let's go check out our giant star. You notice in the top right there it says Class M Red Giant. That is a giant that we're headed to. Again, it's probably already been discovered just because of its proximity to the waypoint. But since it caught my eye so quickly, I can't help but go check it out. Yeah, big boy.
Fuel scooping.
9 bodies here. Notice how fast we're going. We're going 10C. Normally we'd be going about 1/3 C and having this kind of view. This is a huge star. Get a little bit away from it, and we'll pull up that FSS and see what's here. It's going to be all metallic stuff. Slight chance of a biosite. Oh, not discovered. C1, so that's not going to be in orbit in the main star. There's only 9 bodies here, so we'll look at them all. And one of them I can tell right now is hiding behind the sun. Yeah, we're going to have to get a little farther away to give that one a scan, so we'll go ahead and do that. Some distance between ourselves and that red giant. See if I can get that metal-rich body now. No, in fact I can't. It's still behind the sun. That's a big, big star. Keep on going. See if we can get it now. Last one. I think we have it. Nope, we don't. Good lord. Alright, let's see if the 85th time is the charm here with this elusive metallic or metal-rich body. Aha, now I have it. That is right in orbit at the sun. 0.41 AU. Let's see if it's landable. It is. Oh, it is. So we're going to go check that out. It's 0.41 AU from the star. And the star is 30 solar radii. So it's probably not going to be as big as I'm hoping, but it'll still be quite a spectacle. So we'll go and check that out real quick, and especially since it hasn't been mapped yet, might as well get that shot. Oh, that's pretty close. What I'm really looking for is a star, or a planet that is so close to the giant that it's orbiting that you're fuel scooping while landing. I know systems like that do exist closer to the bubble. I'm not sure if they're hand designed or if they're procedural. I haven't found one out here yet, but I will. I will eventually find one. Basically, that's the picture I've been looking for. I'd love to get it with a blue star. I will take a red one. They make for some fantastic screenshots. I'm going to map the planet here, and then I'll pull out into camera view, and we'll see how big this star looks on the horizon. Hello to Bio, Dave, and NetSteel, all joining us on the stream. Welcome and good evening, everyone. We're just making a quick early evening pit stop at this red giant that happens to have a very close planet to the star, and then we'll head up onto the Theta sector, and we'll see if we can dig ourselves up Wolf-Rayet, some black holes, some Earth lights. We'll go hunting for white dwarfs as well. And if there's anything in particular that you would like to find on this Tutorial Tuesday, go ahead and throw that in the comments in the Twitch stream, and I will see if I can't hunt one of those things down for you. So we got our map here, and now let's just let's pop out into camera mode. So that's decent. If we were to land, that's about the size that the sun would appear in the horizon. It's not nearly as big as I would like it to be for photos. Ideally, basically, I want it to look like that without zooming in for photos. But if we, if we were to land and then angle things appropriately, we can get some decent shots. Not the greatest, but yeah, I've kind of done all these before. You get the idea. If I find one that happens to be a lot closer, I'll probably land on it. But since our goal today is exploration, not photography, I'm not going to bog down today's stream with finding that. So we'll go ahead and switch over back to realistic so that system shows up. I'll unbookmark it. And then what I'm going to do is head on up into that system in the Theta sector that I bookmarked. This is going to be our starting point. I don't expect anything of note to be here. It was a neutron that I happened to spot. So this will be our starting point in the Theta sector. Probably 4 jumps, maybe fewer if we got neutrons. 3. Perfect. So let's go ahead and head on up to the Theta sector.
Drive charging.
And you don't have to go up for exploration. You can go down too. The idea is to move vertically away from the plane of the galaxy in order to find areas that are less traveled by others. So I elected to go up since we already kind of were positioned about 1,200 light years above the plane. We're just going to go further up from there. And Dave Sundays asked for some Raxel tips. I haven't got any of those, sadly. I have not got any tips for finding that. That remains a mystery.
Warning. Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged.
This is probably going to have one metal-rich body or high metal content. Yep. High metal contents and metal-rich are pretty typical for neutron systems, and I always pull up the system scanner in neutron systems just because they're up here. They're unlikely to be discovered. So we'll check on the off chance it's terraformable. It isn't. So we'll move on. Some good stuff in the comments about the hunt for Raxela. If you have tips on finding Raxela, I'm all about those. Definitely get those in the comments. Who knows? Maybe Raxela's up here. Although, as I've said in other streams, knowing the way people explore, and in fact knowing how we're going to explore today, if Raxela exists, it's probably a icy body in orbit of a T-Tauri star. Because nobody ever stops at T-Tauris, and nobody ever maps icy bodies.
Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits.
Fun fact, over the weekend, I found some blue T-Tauris. One of them was going to turn into a B-type later in its life, and one will turn into an A-type later in its life. I didn't bookmark it, so we probably won't run into it again today during the stream, but on the way back down, maybe we'll see if I can hunt for it again, because that was a pretty cool system, even though there was nothing in it besides the stars. And again, because it's a neutron system and undiscovered, I'm just going to quickly hunt for the bodies in the system. The off chance we get something like an Earth-like, a water world, or a terraformable high metal content, which is what I'm after here, because there were no Earths or waters in the system. But these HMCs might be terraformable. Unlikely, but I've had it happen. And those are worth a decent chunk of change when you turn them in at UC. So there's the last one right there.
System scan complete.
And we'll check for terraformables. I'm not expecting to landable. Interesting. How close? 3 AU, so not going to be a particularly interesting view. Nothing to terraform.
Frameshift drive charging.
see the skybox. We're starting to get
Frameshift drive
high above
operating
the
beyond
galactic
safety
plane with
limits.
that view.
Frameshift drive supercharged.
Pretty cool kind of boundary distinction there between this galaxy below us and what's left up above us, which is not much. Again, we'll just looks like there's going to be one gas giant in the system, so we'll grab it.
System scan complete.
Oops. Oh, okay. I am where I wanted to go. We have arrived at our destination, which is just in the middle of nowhere in the Theta sector. I thought we had one more jump, which is why we dropped there. So, alright, now we're here, and now we can start hunting for stuff. So the first thing I'm going to do is demonstrate how to find Wolf-Rayets, which is actually kind of easier in some respects than you might think. So we're going to quickly go through the naming convention for stars and systems, rather, in Elite Dangerous. As you can see here, the system we're in here is Theta FP-R D4-27. So the first part there, Theta, is just the sector name. We're in the Theta sector. FP-R is a coordinate system that identifies how other stars are labeled in the sector, and it's, without the ability to doodle on the screen here, it's going to be difficult to explain, but essentially each sector is a cube, and the cube is divided up into a bunch of different subcubes. I think that they call them cubics or qubits or something. But the letters there indicate the coordinate position of the star that it was within those cubes. It's really not worth trying to decipher. The important bit is the weight of the system, the mass of the system that appears at the end there. See that where it says D4-27 at the system we're in? The D, as I've indicated in prior streams, is the mass of the system. Higher letters, as in, like, if D is kind of in the middle, H is super massive, and A is a lighter system. So, for Wolf-Rayets, what you can do, because they're so massive, and because of the way the coordinate system works out, they are always going to be within an H-weight system, and because the H-weight systems, the cube occupies the entire sector, you can kind of cheat the naming convention. So what you can do is just plug in the sector name, Theta, and then you do AA-A, and then H for the weight, and then the number at the end is just it's a serial number, which increments by 1 for every type of the system. So if we go to H0, it'll be the first heaviest system in the Theta sector. And if we go there, we're going to find that it is a Wolf-Rayet star. See where it says WC0? That is a Wolf-Rayet star. It also happens to have 2 O-type stars in the same system. And that's it. You can find Wolf-Rayets by chance, of course, but this is a really easy way to find them. It's not guaranteed that the AA-AH0 is going to have a Wolf-Rayet in any given sector, but this one does. So we'll go ahead and plot a route to it. And one thing I want you to be mindful of when you do that, especially this high up above the galactic plane, just bear in mind that neutrons may get you into the system, which is what they're going to do here. But they may not get you back out. The reason I knew this was going to be a Wolf-Rayet is because I went here on Sunday, and I did it in a keelback that goes 42 light years. Well, I got here without issue, and then getting back out again required a jumbonium injection. So make sure you've got those materials for synthesis if you need one. So I am going to travel to this AA-A H0 so we can get a cool view of the Wolf-Rayet way up here above the galactic plane. And you can see there's more stuff above it. This is not the highest, nor is it the center of the sector. It's just that's where this Wolf-Rayet happens to be, in a relatively lonely area of space, not much around it. So we'll go there. 7 jumps, not too long. We're gonna have to stop for gas after the next jump or 2.
Frameshift drive charging.
But the gal map should have plotted me a workable course. So yeah, this will get us to the Wolf-Rayet in this system, or in this sector rather. And you can try that in any sector that you're at. And you're again, it's possible but not guaranteed to find a Wolf-Rayet at AA-A H0 in any particular sector. If you notice, when you're in the galaxy map, the giant nebulas are typically AA-A H0. The
Frameshift drive operating
formation
beyond safety
event
limits.
that made the nebulas exist came from
Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged.
Get out, we'll have a quick scan here. I am low on fuel. That's a deceptive again. Is that rocky ice? Is it Earth? We know it's rocky ice because it's in the Christmas tree on the chevrons. If it was an Earth-like, the chevrons would be 1, 2, 2, not 2, 1, 2. Since we have 7 more jumps to do, I'll go ahead and keep moving.
Frameshift drive charging.
If I see one with an Earth-like, of course, we'll stop mapping. But don't want to get too bogged down mapping, and I want to show you how to find your own stuff rather than mapping my own things.
3, 2, 1.
And Bio in the comments has kind of mentioned about the density of H systems. After we get to the Wolf-Rayet here, I'll go into more detail about exactly what he's talking about. H0 is not the only H mass system in the Vega sector. There's another one. And if we go to that one, we'll see why it can be beneficial to kind of just iterate through them. So we're going to H0 now. And after we get there and have a quick peek, we'll go to H1. And I'll kind of use that to drive home the point of massive things being in H-weight systems. Excuse all the alarms coming from my ship. Got a little steamy with that. Also important to note, if you're doing what I'm doing and neutron hopping your way to a lonely system in the middle of nowhere, bear in mind, if the Wolf-Rayets are not scoopable. Now, as I mentioned, there were 2 O-types in the system that we're going to, so I can scoop off of those, so I'm not going to worry about fuel. So that the game's route plotter won't plot you out of gas on the way to something, but it will not guarantee you that you can get back out. Or have enough fuel to get back out. So just bear that in mind, especially when you're exploring
Frameshift drive operating
more
beyond
sparse
safety
areas like
limits.
this. Even if you have a successful route to the system, you may not be able to get back out, not only because of jump range, but also because of fuel. So be aware of that as you're exploring.
Frameshift drive charging.
What I forgot to do was check out for nothing here. Okay.
Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged. Frameshift drive charging.
Kind enough to give us another fuel star along the way here, so we'll top ourselves off at this, I believe, K-type that we're arriving at.
Fuel sweeping. Temperature critical. Fuel sweeping complete.
Look how empty that sky is. We're really getting into the sticks here. There were several systems, several planets in this system, so I'm just going to get a little bit away from the star and stop, just in case we have. Nope, nothing we're stopping for.
Frameshift drive charging.
Ah, congrats, System Core made his Wolf Hunter badge. For those who are unfamiliar with that, that's in EDSM. If your account is synced and you find an undiscovered Wolf-Rayet, you can get a badge for it in EDSM. Unfortunately, the one that we're going to here was previously discovered, but if you apply these tips to other sectors, I'm sure you will find your own Wolf-Rayet in no time.
Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged.
So this is where you can get into trouble, because this is our next jump is where our Wolf-Rayet is. But notice it's 74 light years away. The Anaconda has a jump range of 62. So getting back to this neutron in order to get out is going to require a Jumponium injection. So I'll cover that when we get to it, but just bear in mind, especially when you're in this more rarefied air above the galaxy. Just because you can get to a destination does not mean you may be able to leave it. And you won't get that discovery credit if you have to self-destruct to get out. So careful planning as advised. Here's our pretty Wolf-Rayet star. Notice how it is not scoopable. We are not getting any fuel whatsoever off of this Wolf-Rayet. But it is quite the sight, indeed. And because there's nothing else up here, that's all there is to look at. The Wolf-Rayet star, and I believe there's a B-type. Yep, there it is. Nearby. And that's not a B-type, that's an O-type, excuse me. And other than that, we're pretty much in the boonies. Nothing up here but this cool view of the galaxy. So unfortunately, there's no planets in this particular Wolf-Rayet. But if you pull up the system map, you can read all about it, see who discovered it, learn a little bit about Wolf-Rayet stars. Of course, you can learn more in the Codex, and then the two O types, and then if you wanted to, you could look at the order review. So the A and B star here are pretty much orbiting each other, and then the C star way out there, which is another O type, just kind of doing its own thing. So I'm going to go get some fuel off this O type that's right next door, really quick. You can see the third one out there in the distance, and you can see from the skybox now that we've gotten away from the Wolf-Rayet, there's more out here. We're not at a superlative point above the plane. We could continue to go higher. The higher we go, the riskier it will be trying to get back down again. So what I'm going to do here is demonstrate the system naming trick for finding giants, and it's going to be the same thing. So the AA-AH0 system got us a Wolf-Rayet star, but what if we wanted to find some giants or supergiants? We can do literally the same thing. So we're in Theta AA-AH0, so we'll do Theta AA-AH1, and that'll get us to the next heaviest system in the sector, all the way over here, and look at that. The arrival star, weirdly enough, is a subgiant. However, the other star in the system is an actual giant, might even be supergiant. So I actually got a route. I won't have to use Jumponium. When I was in the keelback, I had to use Jumponium to get out. That's pleasant. But if you did have to use Jumponium to get out, it is under the inventory synthesis FSD injection, and you get basic, standard, and premium grades of that. Make sure you have enough materials. And note, of course, the higher the grade, the more bonus distance you get on the jump. There is a bug in Odyssey where you can't actually use the route plotter to get a Jumponium boost, and that's this FSD boost area here, which if you select, you can do 1, 2, and 3. So basic, standard, premium. But you synthesize it and then just select the next system, and you'll always get there. You basically have to do one at a time navigation to get there. But I didn't need that here, so we will go and use the route that the map is conveniently plotted for us. 5 jumps over to the giant and supergiant.
Frameshift drive charging.
We'll go check those out. If memory serves, I think I got my name on those. Bio says I'm running low on Jumponium. I've never had more than a dozen shots of Jumponium. Never actually needed it. The only time before Sunday that I needed Jumponium was going to Salome's Reach, Semitis Beacon, which is that system. Whoa. Hello. Check out this boy. That is one spinning neutron star. Obviously, from my reaction, I was not expecting that. I haven't been to this particular neutron.
System scan complete.
Pretty cool looking. We'll get a boost off of him.
Warning. Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged.
And then we'll eventually find our way back out again. No planets in here. That is a cool neutron. I like that.
Frameshift drive charging.
They're not any more dangerous than regular neutrons. In fact, they're easier to use because the jets don't spit you out, in my opinion.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Sedate.
Warning. Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits.
Another thing to note, when you're in neutron-rich regions like this, bear in mind that if you get the FSD below 80% in health, it will start to malfunction. That's not a huge worry because it'll continue to function all the way down until 0. Each neutron takes about 1% off of it. So you can really use 100 neutron boosts before you're in serious trouble. I don't have an AFMU on this particular vessel since it's a carrier-supported expedition. I can just repair it.
4, 3, 2, 1.
pretty close.
System scan complete. Fuel scooping.
2 nibs, I think. Yeah. That's enough gas since it's a scoopable star
Fuel
that we're
scoop
going to.
disengaged. Frameshift drive charging.
Neutron here.
Warning. Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged.
Quickly check for fun stuff. None. Although we're only 6, let's just quickly bot them in case any of these are terraformable. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. And the last one.
System scan complete.
Checking for terraformable again. We're looking for the word. This body is a candidate for terraforming in the description up there. Oh, and how far away is this? 3.5 AUs, so nothing fun to see if we land.
Frameshift drive charging.
Alright, here we go. We're coming up on our system with 2B types. One is going to be a subgiant, which is the Roman numeral 4. And one is going to be either a giant or supergiant, which is the Roman numeral 2. And having been here on Sunday, unfortunately, there's nothing else in the system. Here's our subgiant arrival star. Why the arrival star? We're going 30C, and we're hardly moving. 40C, and we're hardly moving. Oh. I never went to 200 light seconds away, 200,000 light seconds away. This one is bigger.
Fuel scooping complete.
But this one's even bigger. Solar radius 268. Solar radius 333. I don't know why this one is bigger and is considered a subgiant. This one is smaller, but is considered a supergiant. That's weird. I'm not going to spend all the time going 250,000 light seconds out to go look at it. But yeah. That is a system with a giant and supergiant in it, and we've been flying at quite a few multiples of C while I was in the menus, and look how big it still is. This is hundreds of times bigger than the sun. It is over 1,000 light seconds away right now, and look how big it is. I really wish there was something landable near it. Unfortunately, our system name convention trick has reached the end of its life. There is not a Theta AA-A H2. So there's only the 0 and the 1 in this particular sector. So that trick has gotten us as far as it's going to take us with this particular one. So what I'm going to do now is start hunting for what everyone wants to find in this game, which is Earth-likes. And what I'm going to do for that is change Oh, I'm looking at this. Instead of now, it's not impossible to find Earth-likes around O, B, and A type stars, but not so likely. Our own sun here in the Sol system is a G-type star, so we'll add that to the filter. We'll also add F and K-type stars. Again, it's possible to find them around M types. It's possible to find them around A and B types, but not so likely. It's possible to find them anywhere, but by narrowing the search parameters to stars that are similar to our own sun, we can kind of increase the likelihood that we'll bumble across Earth-likes, water worlds, and ammonia worlds, although ammonia worlds can happen in the blue systems too. So this one's going to be a G-type. So let's just head on over. There's really no science behind where is an Earth-like going to be versus where is it not going to be. All we're doing is increasing our odds a little bit by knowing the types of systems in which they form. Other things that we're going to do today is we're going to go biosite hunting, and for that I'm actually going to switch back to the blue star filter because those are easiest to find. The space pumpkins around B-type stars, at least in my experience. But for now, let's see if we can find us an Earth-like. So I'm just going to start flipping through G, F, and K-type stars, and let's see what we get.
Frameshift drive charging.
And Bio has made a good point in the comments about how to iterate through the system names, and I'll go back to the galaxy map and run through that in a second, because you don't have to type out H0, H1, H2 to find them.
Fuel scooping.
27.
Fuel scooping complete.
Let's point it away from the star, and we'll see if we found anything good. Real quick, just to what Bio was talking about there, if you're doing the search trick and you do Theta, AA-A, and then you do H, and then you search, it will start at the first one, and then you go and hit it again, and it'll go to the next one. It's supposed to go to the next one. There we go. And then if there were a 2 and you hit it again, it would go to the next one. This is going to go back where we just were. But you can click through them all that way. And if you're trying to iterate through something other than A-AH, and you're trying to just sequence through them, you can do it that way, so you don't have to type so much. Look at this. We got ourselves a water world. No Earth-likes here. Not a water world. Eyeballing it. Let's see. Is that going to be terraformable? My guess is yes. 0.9 gravities, 0.77 AU in distance, and just looking at it, it's got clouds. I bet you that's terraformable. I'm not going to waste time mapping the rest of it, but I am going to go stick my name on that water world. And we'll go map it. Since it wasn't... Oh god, is it going to be a million? No, it's right there. Is it terraformable? Not terraformable. Bummers. Still going to map it. Guess it's right next to it. Some questions in the chat. What types of biosites are up here? What stuff is random? It is pretty much random as far as I can tell. There are some sectors of space where things seem to be more common than others. For all intents and purposes, though, if you're hunting for tubers, if you're hunting for pumpkins, or if you're hunting for bark mounds, I don't know why you would. Um, it's basically once you establish that a sector has something, um, you'll know that you'll find more of that in that sector. The codex can be informative in that case, in telling you what to expect in a particular sector. And if I'm wrong on that, feel free to chime in. Yeah, JP says you don't have to hunt for bark mounds. This is true. They tend, of all the bio sites you're gonna encounter, bark mounds tend to be the most annoyingly frequent. But again, it's a matter of improving your odds to the maximum extent that you can. And so just what I did here, just filtering the star types, got me a water world on the first jump. And we'll do a couple more at least, see if we can't stumble our way into an Earth-like. And again, the only reason I'm up here in this sparsely populated region is to increase the likelihood that I find something undiscovered. Because everyone wants to find their own Earth-like or ammonia or water world. So by going up or down in the galaxy map, you reduce the odds that someone else has been here before you. So you can get your own name on these discoveries. You absolutely don't have to. And if you're hunting in the galactic core around, Sagittarius A, there's just so much stuff down there that you don't really even need to do that. Because there's millions and millions of systems all crammed in right there. And just it's a law of large numbers means you're unlikely to stumble across someone else's discovery. This one our little map. And I believe the reason this one wasn't terraformable, if you caught it when it was in the system map, it's got an ammonia atmosphere. That pattern for 6 probe planets will always get us the 100% map.
Surface scanned by 50%. Surface scan complete.
Alright, let's see if we can pick out another system and find our Earth-like. Yellow dots here are going to be the G-types. Again, just looking at the filter. Whereas the bluer ones will be the F-types and the redder ones will be the K-types. Let's head to another G-type. There's what happens to be one right here.
Frameshift drive charging.
Only 3 bodies here. The likelihood of an Earth-like is low.
Fuel sweeping complete.
I can already tell just from looking at the radar, one of the other bodies is a star, so that's not an Earth-like. The other body is high metal content. A whole bunch of asteroid clusters. Why these show up on the map, I do not know. Just waste everyone's time. Yeah, I don't know where this HMC is. And I'm not going to spend any more time looking for it. Oops. That's just kind of how the cookie crumbles when you're out hunting systems. Didn't find what we wanted with that one. Look at all these bookmarks. So many bookmarks. Let's start working our way back down. Maybe increase the density a little bit. We'll try another G-type system. Should be able to hit that in one jump. I don't know why the plotter's trying so hard.
Frameshift drive charging.
Dave Sunday says, wish we could label bookmarks. I completely agree. Even just being able to categorize them would be nice. I will go exploring and I'll bookmark stuff for future follow-up, and then I'll forget about it completely. And then when I run out of bookmarks, I have to start deleting them. And I never wind up exploring those areas.
Fuel scooping complete.
Well, we get 7 bodies here. And again, we'll just get a little distance between ourselves and the star, and we'll pull up that FSS and see if we've got any marks on the magic range. JP is using ships as bookmarks because the ship indicator shows up on the map. That's clever. I had never thought of that. No Earth likes here. Yeah, if you look at the galaxy map and you go somewhere you've got a ship, like there's the carrier, it shows the ship icon. You could use that as a bookmark. That is clever, JP. That is clever. I like it. I'm gonna plot a course to this one and then take a quick break. Just a 2-second break to feed the cat. It is that time of day. We'll let this plot, and then I will get the jump going, and then I'll rejoin you shortly.
This is a reminder.
Alright, so I'm back with you. Appreciate the patience. I had an arrangement with my cat. He gets fed at 7 p.m. every day, and if I do that, he doesn't scream for food at other hours of the day. So I have to make sure that I am reliable. Now we're back on the hunt for Earthlings. And again, remember that these are very few and far between, so even if you go hunting and you don't come back with one, don't feel discouraged. You'll find one eventually.
Fuel scooping.
31, not bad, not bad.
Fuel scooping complete.
We got ourselves a water world. Again, no Earth-likes, unfortunately, in this system. Another ammonia-rich water world. This may be a water giant. And this may be a gas giant with water life. Ammonia life. Okay. Let's see how far away that water world was. Oh no, ain't nobody got time for that. That was 350,000 light seconds away. I'm not going to subject you all to the 20-minute trip to get there. It's not an Earth-like, so we are going to continue our hunt. Let's try a different type of star. Let's try this F-type right here. Oh, okay, that's actually a white dwarf. So is that. So is that. That's a lot of white dwarfs. JP, I assume that was supposed to be a shanty, not a shantou. I remember someone from Discord was hunting white dwarfs. We got a DAB, and we got a DAZ, and we have a DAO, all three in this tight little cluster here. So if you're on the stream and want to grab those, if they were one of the types that you were missing, I won't be mad if you snipe those from me. I'm just going to check this one out because it's got two M-type stars. And it's a D-weight system. I just want to see what's here.
Frame shift drive charging.
We'll try an F-type, and we'll try a K-type for our Earth-like hunt. But I've essentially, I've demonstrated the process. If you use the process, you will get one eventually. But because they are such a rare thing to encounter, it may take us some time to find one. I don't want to get bogged down for 15, 20, 30 minutes. Just, you know, doing what's essentially a dice roll. Wow. Let's not smack it. Let's grab a boost off this jet cone while I'm right near it. And remember, these are the white dwarf jet cones are the dangerous ones because they can pull you
Frame shift drive operating beyond
into the
safety
exclusion
limits.
zone where you
Frame shift
definitely
drive
don't want to be.
supercharged.
So, if you have a lot of exploration data, you may not want to do what I just did. But that'll give us a little bit of a boost for the next system. 40 bodies. Let's see. Anything good? Of course, that's not what I meant to open. I meant to open this. Nope, not really. We got icy, metallic, and gas giants. Alright, let's try two different types of stars. We checked out G stars already. Let's try an F, and let's try a K, just in case we can get ourselves an Earth-like around one of those. Those are all white dwarfs. These are going to be the K types, the redder ones. Where did it go? There it is. I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want to go to that one. It's only C weight, but it's got 2 K stars. I don't know. Let's go. Let's see what's there.
Frame shift
Trust your
drive
instincts.
charging.
And after we check out this K type, we'll check out the F type or an F type, and then we'll start hunting for biosites because I know a lot of people have been looking for biosites on there. And I'll demo the process for improving your odds there too. If we don't find an Earth-like, it won't be the end of the world. Again, if you use this process, it will eventually pan out for you.
Fuel scooping.
Dave Sunday is looking for carbon stars. Yeah, we can add that.
Scooping complete.
Carbon stars are cool to look at. They're at the end of their life in the galaxy, and they tend to be huge as well for great photos. So we could definitely check out those. I don't know if there are any in this sector. Oh, we can certainly look. So we'll see if this. Nope, no Earth-likes here. Okay, let's find ourselves an F-type. I'm going to temporarily turn off white dwarfs because the filter color is similar. Why? There's another G-type. If I see a G2V, I will stop at it because that's what the sun is. Not likely to find an Earth-like there. It has happened. It's just not likely. Here's an F-type, and a K-type, and a G-type, all at once. If we're going to find an Earth-like today, it's going to happen there. And if we don't, then we don't. That's just how the cookie crumbles. We'll live.
Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive operating beyond safety
Right
limits.
through it. This is actually the reason I took the keel back over the weekend, is because this anaconda is so
Frameshift
slow.
drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift
When you
drive
fly
supercharged.
through the jet's cone like that, it takes forever to turn around and get back in it. Oh, we got a water world in this neutron system. I am going to stop and map that, most likely. Because that's pretty unusual. It's an orbit of the A star, which is the neutron star, which is even more unlikely. So, that is worth stopping at, for sure.
System scan complete.
So there's our water world, not terraformable. If it was, I'd be horrified. Nothing terraformable, but its distance 480. Won't be a particularly good view of the neutron star, but water worlds and neutron systems are rare enough that I will stop and map that one. So if I know I just took a break a second ago, but if anyone needs another one, this is going to be about a 5-minute affair, getting out to the star and getting out to the planet and mapping it, and then we'll head for our system where we're hoping to find an Earth-like. And if there is no Earth-like there, we'll move on and start looking for other things. But I think I've reiterated how we're trying to narrow down the field at this point enough that everyone's pretty much got the idea. So we'll move on if we don't find an Earth-like in the next system. Another 6 probe system. And again, my pattern that always works for these 6 probe planets is 1 second at a 45-degree angle right on the line. A third right when it turns to the miss indication. 90 degrees to the left on the line. 90 degrees to the left on the line. And 90 degrees to the left on the line. And for a 6 probe planet, that will always get you a 100% map. There's other diagrams out there that achieve the same result, but that one works for me.
Surface scan complete.
There you go.
Frameshift drive charging.
Alright, let's
Ready to engage.
let's see if we get our Earthlight.
2, 1. Fuels.
Nope.
System scan complete.
No Earth-like here, just the stars. Womp womp.
Fuel scooping complete.
Ah, that's a bummer. But that's Elite Dangerous. I mean, Elite Dangerous isn't, well, I guess sometimes it is a bummer, but that's just how this game is. Sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. And today's a don't. I got nothing but the stars here. A, B, C, and D. Oh well. But that is the process for finding Earthlikes. That is a process, rather, for finding Earthlikes. You can find them anywhere. You can find them in black hole systems. They exist. So, fret not that we didn't find one today. Who knows, maybe we'll find one on the way to somewhere else. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to change the filter back, and we'll see if we can find some biosites. So I'm going to put that back on A, B, and O type stars, because that has been historically good for me in finding biosites. And in fact, you know what I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn G type stars back on, and I'm going to apply this filter to my route. So anywhere we go, maybe we can bumble ourselves into an Earth-like by accident. I'm only going to fly to O, B, and A, but if we hit a G on the way that's got an Earth-like, then we hit a G that's got an Earth-like. I just happened to notice this AA-0 name. What's here? It's G-type, not M-type. Alright, one more shot. One more shot at an Earth-like, and then we'll switch to biosites.
Frameshift drive charging.
And this is how people wind up playing this game until 5 in the morning. Just one more system.
Fuel scooping.
Will one of them be our Earth-like? Distance in there, that's good enough. Nope, no Earthlikes. No Earthlikes. That's too bad. But let's see if we can find ourselves some biosites. We can maybe have a disappointment sandwich here. We had a Wolf-Rayet, we had a supergiant, we found those. Didn't find an Earth-like. Let's see if we can find something to make the other part of this disappointment sandwich with a success. Some biosites. It's a white dwarf. No, I'm not going to go there. Looking for blue stars. That's a blue star. No, that's a white dwarf. Lots of white dwarfs around here. Wow, lots of G-types. Now the game is just throwing G-types at me, because it wants me to be distracted from my mission of finding biosites. It wants me to go hunting for Earthlikes now. That one's definitely blue. Yeah, that's an A and a K. Let's go here. And the route planner is going to have to try a little harder because, again, remember I've put this filter on the route as well, so it's only going to take us to these type of stars. It may be taking us through a white dwarf, which is not ideal. I hate having to boost off of those. Oh, it's a neutron. Okay, that's fine. Let's get the ship out.
Shift drive charging.
So we'll make an effort for the biosites here. If we get to half past without finding one, I'll switch over to the hunt for carbon stars, and that'll probably be the tail end of the stream for today. So we looked for Earthlikes. Unfortunately, didn't find any, but that's the process. And now we're looking for biosites, and by filtering for these blue stars, we're going to increase our likelihood of finding high metal worlds that have biosites on them.
Warning. Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged.
So again, I've been here already. Okay.
Frameshift drive charging.
We're filtering for O, B, and A type stars, and I threw the G in there as well, just in case we happen to bumble across an Earthlike while hunting for biosites.
3, 2, 1. System scan complete.
Nope.
Fuel scooping.
Nothing here.
Fuel scooping complete.
I think there was another one. Yeah, there's another one right here. Let's have a look at this guy.
Frameshift drive charging.
Yeah, Dave has mentioned that the pumpkins that he's found have been on high grav planets. That's been my experience as well.
3, 2, 1.
So just keep an eye on that grav meter as you land on the planet. Just give him this game. Don't go smush unnecessarily.
Fuel scooping. Fuel scooping complete.
Now, one thing we can do as we're doing this hunt, remember that the letter before the serial number in the system name, so in this case, D11, we're at D2-3. The D indicates the mass of the system. So if I were to start hunting for heavier mass systems, look at that. Look at that. We found ourselves an Earthlike. In, weirdly enough, an A-type star system. But there we go. Our process works, everybody. We found one. We found one. I'm pleased about that. As soon as we stopped looking for it, we found it. Naturally, right? So because you do get a bonus for mapping the whole system. I'm not going to map the whole system. I'm going to scan everything. And then map that Earth-like, and in case any of those HMCs are terraformable, we'll map those too. I'm not seeing any features popping up, so I don't think we found any biosites yet. But we found an Earth-like. In a weird system, too. I was not expecting to stumble across that in a sun with a star with an A-type. It's just a system with an A-type star.
System scan complete.
But it worked. Our strategery for filtering worked, so I'll take it. Might be more common around the G-types, but we got one. Not terraformable, not terraformable, not terraformable. No volcanism, no features, no features, no features. Go ahead and set a target there. There's no biosites yet. Nothing terraformable. We'll just go quickly throw a map on this Earth-like, and then we'll continue our hunt for biosites. Aha! I am vindicated. We have found an Earth-like. So for those watching the stream, for those just tuning in, or for those who have been fast-forwarding around in sheer boredom because we were previously unable to find an Earth-like, the actual trick to finding an Earth-like, as demonstrated by what we just did, is don't look for them. Don't look for them. Look for something else, and then you'll find the Earth-like, right? That's just how the game is the dice is going to roll today. That's how the cookie crumbles like 6 times today on the stream. I need a new metaphor, so I had to catch myself with that one. But no, really. Filtering for G, F, and K-type stars is a pretty valid strategy for finding them. This mid-weight A-type star, this is relatively unlikely, but we got one, so I'll take the win. Fun little factoid, the reason I bought this game is because I fell for a practical joke in the Elite Dangerous subreddit. I did not fall for the infamous Hutton-Orbital Anaconda. Someone, at one point, was talking about how much fun they were having driving their SRV around the streets of Paris. I bought the game because I thought you could land on Earth. If you have no familiarity with this game whatsoever and are just watching the stream for something to do, you cannot land on Earth. You cannot land on Earth. It cannot be done.
Surface scanned by
But
50%.
on the whole, I'm not upset about it.
Surface scan complete.
All right, we've got our Earth-like planet. Let's go find some biosites. That's going to be a neutron. That's going to be a neutron. A-type. David asked, how many years have I been playing? I've been at this since 2017. The first big expedition I did was Distant Worlds 2, which is that the big sticker I have on all of my ships. Let's see, more G-types, more G-types. I'm hoping for a for a B type. Oh, wow. A, A, K, 2 M's and an L. Let's see what we get there.
Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged.
JP, I think Distant Worlds was 2018, I think. Just quickly check for terraformables here. Bodies around the B-star in this system. Bear with me. Nearly done. I don't have features on it. I'll double check that here in the system now.
System scan complete.
Oh, it's drive charging.
Fuel scooping. Fuel scooping complete.
See if we can get anything with some biosites. Some winds. Oh, there's always one.
System scan complete.
No biosites here. It would have shown up under the features in the FSS, so I'm not going to bother to pull out the system map. Let's keep working our way back towards the carrier. I know I said at half past we'll start looking for carbon stars, but my accidental Earth-like, I'm just going to try a little bit longer. I'm actually going to head to this neutron star. This is an E-weight neutron, so if it's going to have neat things, like how our current waypoint has an Earth-like in a neutron system, this E-weight system would be where we'd find it. The fact that it doesn't have any other stars makes me think it's unlikely, but we'll look.
Frameshift drive charging.
And if we happen to any biosites along the way, that'll be great. I know after we're done with biosites, we're going to do a quick hunt for carbon stars. I don't know that there are a lot of those in this sector. I don't know if we'll be able to find any. But that's just a matter of scrolling through the galaxy map and looking for them. We can turn off all the filters. So that won't be as much random number generation as what we're doing right now, which is hunting for stuff within the system. So we'll save that for last and then head back.
Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged.
After I've satisfied my curiosity with this E-weight neutron system.
System scan complete.
Check for terraformables. No, and no.
Frameshift drive charging.
But actually, when we hit this E-weight system, I'm going to circle back to something Bio mentioned earlier in the chat, which is cycling through systems in the galaxy map. I know I briefly touched on that. I want to circle back to that and demonstrate one more thing. I guess there's not much here. Yeah. Grab a boost off it since we're right next to it.
Warning. Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits.
And then we'll ever so slowly pitch back up to get back in it because I flew through it by accident.
Warning. Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged.
Quickly pull out the FSS. Got some high metals and a gas giant. Those are some cool looking rings. That's pretty sweet looking.
System scan complete.
High metal. Another huge set of rings. Just gonna quickly check for terraformables, then we'll hop into the gal map. 'Cause, 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 'cause So the thing I wanted to quickly mention in the gas giant is cycling through systems. I mentioned this is an E-weight system. That caught my attention because it's heavy. As you know, H weights are the heaviest. What you can do, you don't actually have to type. If you, AA-AH is, if you're looking for a Wolf-Rayet, you're going to find it if it exists in an AA-AH system. There are no Wolf-Rayets in systems that are not H-weight. So if the sector has a Wolf-Rayet, it will be in an H-weight system. That said, if I just plug in just the sector name and start searching that, it's going to go from the heaviest, where we've been, H0, to the next heaviest, where we've already been, H1, and then it will take us to the next heaviest, which should be a G-weight system. Yeah, which is going to be an O-type. So if you're looking for O-types, there you go. That'll do it. And that's only 400 light years away. So what do you say we head on the way there, see if we can find ourselves some biosites, because this will pass through A, B, and F types on the way. It was only a couple jumps. That didn't take long to plot. I think that's only 3. But we can keep on searching using the same strategy. It's going to take us all over the sector. Here's a G1, another O-type star. O-types are young, hot, and huge. This is probably another O-type star, and we can just keep doing this until we find, something that looks pretty cool. So, here's a double O-type star. Dave has asked, what button am I using to cycle? I'm literally, I've got the field highlighted with the system name in it. I'm just hitting the search arrow right next to it, and each time it goes to the next one. And if I remember, ooh, black hole. Okay, that'll probably be where we end today's hunt. So we're going to go to this O-type that I found, and then we'll go to the black hole. And if I remember correctly, you can even go to the systems, and the map will remember the last one you're at, and keep iterating from there. So I probably should have showed you this earlier. Here's another black hole, and a G-weight one, too. So these heavy systems are where cool stuff can be. Your Wolf-Rayets, your O-types, your black holes. So if you're looking for stuff like that, this is a great way to find them. These are all just O's all by themselves, which is not exceptional. But as you start doing this, and you get here's one with a B star, you may happen to blunder upon a planetary nebula doing this. And so I'm going to keep doing this for just a minute to see if we can't reward anyone who's still stuck on the stream or stuck with us on the stream, and see if we can blunder into a planetary nebula. There's another black hole and a neutron star. Black hole and a neutron star and nothing else. That's freaking cool. Not a planetary nebula. I'm just going to do a couple more of these looking for a planetary nebula. Another black hole with a neutron. I'm going to run around of bookmarks. This stream is probably going to run over today, everyone. I typically end these at 8 p.m. But I'm finding some cool stuff in this sector. So we're going to go look at it. Okay. Starting to get into the F-weight systems, which is the more standard. Here we go. B supergiant. B1A. Oh my. Look at this. Aren't you glad you stuck along the stream for this? This is the hugest B-type you can possibly have. Oh my. So let's go check out whatever I plotted the course to. Then we're going to check out those 2 black holes with neutron stars in them, and then we're going to end the stream at this B supergiant star. So, I guess I saved I pulled a Steve Jobs. I did one more thing. This is the way you find like the super cool, super rare stuff, because the super rare stuff is super heavy, and this is how you find it. So here's a B supergiant. Let's do this a couple more times, see if I find a planetary black hole with 2 neutrons. I hope this wasn't some, like, secret of the elite community that we're not supposed to give away for how to put your name on cool stuff. But this is how to put your name on cool stuff. There may not be any planetary nebulas in this sector. You get the idea, right? If there were a planetary nebula in the sector, you would eventually arrive at it doing this. 3 jumps. And yeah, as Dave mentioned, there's plenty of sectors out there to explore. So if you don't find what you're looking for in one sector, just scoot along left, right, up, or down to the next one over, and maybe you'll find what you're looking for there.
2, 1. System scan complete. Warning. Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits.
If the other star in this system is scoopable, I may quickly detour to it to do a scoop.
Warning. Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits.
God, I'm pointing at
Frameshift
the
drive
Don't do that.
supercharged.
It is scoopable. I'm gonna quickly head over there. Just because look at my fuel on him. I'm headed towards, I think we're going to a black hole, right? And I'm currently not having any gas, so remember what I said earlier in the stream about the galaxy map will plot you to somewhere with absolutely no guarantee that you may leave again. Oh, that's so far away. We'll get gas later. I'm going to chance it.
Frameshift drive charging.
We're going to get gas in the next system. It's a G-type. Hey, Whirlwind Hunter. Welcome to the channel. We're on our way to some black holes, some neutron stars, and some O-types. We're hunting for biological signals here in Elite Dangerous. This is all part of the Wild Wild West expedition. We're currently about 5,000 light years west of Colonia in-game. And the Wild Wild West expedition started a couple weeks ago and is continuing through the end of the year. If you're interested in joining, feel free to head on over to wildwest.space/expedition, and I'm sure Linkmaster JP will be in with a link shortly for you to view our planned route on EDSM. Of course, you can join us in Discord as well, at wildwest.space/Discord. These tutorials happen every Tuesday, and Whirlwind Hunter has given us a system with a black hole and a planetary nebula. May check that out at the end of the stream here. I appreciate that. Just have a quick look for. Nope, nothing here. Okay, moving on.
Drive charging.
Oh, so we were going to an O-type. Okay. I thought we were going to a black hole, and I wasn't able to scoop, but we're going to an O-type. That's okay. The black holes are next.
3, 2, 1.
This will be a big blue star. Very young, extremely hot, very large, very blue. Love that blue.
System scan complete.
Unfortunately, these O-type stars tend to be pretty lonely.
Fuel scooping complete.
You'll often see them in the, you'll think there's a planetary nebula on the galaxy map, but it's not. It's just a dust cloud around these O-type stars. Okay. So, let's go to some of the cool places we just bookmarked at the last minute. Where are we now? Here we are now. Looks like the next... Oh, is that where we... Is that the neutron star that we started at? This guy right here? Yeah, it is. Delete. Don't need to waste a bookmark with that. Okay. The next nearest bookmark to us... Wow. I went on a bit of a spree there, didn't I? Why don't we kind of circle anti-clockwise here and work our way back to the carrier. So we'll end at DA-AF0 there. We'll start here with FG-YG0. And we'll leave our filter on just to increase the odds of finding some of the biosites, which we still haven't run into yet. Black hole, black hole, black hole. Cool. And we got a few star 2 jumps before that. Perfect.
Frameshift drive charging.
Headed to a triple black hole. I saw a couple people sneak into the stream there. Welcome. This is typically the tail end of Tutorial Tuesdays, but I saved the best for last in this particular stream. We're now headed to a triple black hole system out here. If you're looking for how do we find stuff like that, just rewind about 10-15 minutes. Or catch on the VOD how we do that. But basically, just plug the sector name in and then let the map iterate through the heaviest systems in the sector. That got us the Wolf-Rayet, it got us a blue giant. Now it's taken us to a triple black hole system, and we will eventually wind up at a blue supergiant. Which I'm not entirely sure. I've actually been to a blue supergiant. I've been to a blue giant. I don't know if I found a blue supergiant, so I'm a little excited about this.
3, 2, 1.
And yeah, a little bit more detail about the expedition for the newcomers. If you 2 lines up there in the chat is the EDSM link, thanks to Linkmaster JP. And if you are interested in joining us, we're still pretty close to Colonia. You should be able to catch us in about half an hour of flying. And our schedule can be found at wildwest.space/schedule. We are out here headed westward through the end of the year. We're going to head on all the way out to the DSSA Hope Dempsey as our westernmost waypoint. And then continue on westward from there for 2 weeks for those who would like to do so. I'll be making a stop at Erickson Star in one of these Tutorial Tuesdays. And then we're going to swing down and follow the galactic arm to V1357 Cygni, arriving around Christmas time. So, JP, thank you for that link. And if you're interested in the expedition, click. We'd love to have you aboard. It's carrier-supported expedition, so bring any and all ships that you like. Ship them out to the carriers before we get too far from Colonia, so it's relatively cheap to do so. It is open to all platforms, PlayStation, Xbox, and PC.
Fuel scooping.
And is occurring in both Odyssey and Horizons. Our waypoints with landing zones are all in Horizons, because that's how they were scouted. We take all sorts here.
Fuel scooping complete.
Top off right here. No features.
System stand complete.
No features.
Frameshift drive charging.
Whirlwind Hunter's got black holes and planetary nebulas all over the place. Well done. Interested in joining the expedition but you're still in the bubble, we can get you connected with the Fleet Carrier Owners Club, which is a group of people with fleet carriers, as the name might imply. And they tend to have at least one a week, somebody going from the bubble to Colonia, which will save you the manual trip if you'd like to join us but are not interested in
Frameshift drive operating beyond safety
solo.
limits. Frameshift drive supercharged.
Really? Ammonia, water. Well, let's have a look. At a neutron system. Finding all sorts of good stuff here at the last minute. I guess it's good that I kind of spoiled my dinner earlier by snacking. So we'll just keep on doing this. Water and ammonia in a neutron system. They're in orbit of the B-star, which is 100,000 light seconds away, but I'm going to warn you, I am going to go map those. It's going to take a minute to get there. So, like episode 2, that's going to be kind of Swamp Sadagaba-ish. The pacing of the stream is going to slow down when I fly out there. But I do want that water world.
System scan complete.
So I'm going to go hunt it. Ringed, landable, 4.5 AU, no features, not terraformable. This one's terraformable, so we're going to map, 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 not map, not map, and map. Got ourselves a nice little system here. We're coming up on the top of the hour here, and headed out to the B-star 100,000 light seconds away to do some mapping of the HMCs, water world, and ammonia that we found out there. So this would be a good time if anyone needs a bathroom break, snack break, even a dinner break, tea break, whatever. It's going to be a few minutes before we get to the maps, or the bodies that I want to map here. So now is as good a time as any to do that. If anyone is wanting to throw out anything in the chat that we want to look for but haven't done yet in the stream, do that now too. I know I kind of set aside the carbon stars after I got all excited with finding the black holes and neutron stars using the searching trick that we covered earlier in the stream. But we may take a look for those too, since we're going to run over the stream anyway. Might as well go in for a penny, in for a pound, right? So, for the moment, we are accelerating to our cruising velocity, at which is going to be 2001 C. Probably not going to reach that. Headed towards the B star in this system, with its orbiting high metal content water world and ammonia worlds. We should be arriving in approximately 6 minutes. Go ahead and turn off the fasten seatbelt sign at this time. Feel free to get up and move about the cabin. Oh, thank you, Dave, for that nice comment. We are coming up now on the B star. Should be there in about 2 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, we've been cleared to begin our initial descent into Think QU-GD10-9B1. I'm going to go ahead and turn the fasten seatbelt on at this time. Please go ahead and finish your moving about the cabin. Return to your seats. Make sure the tray table is in the full upright and locked position. And seatbelts securely fastened. As we begin our arrival now for this scan of the high metal content world. For anyone just joining the stream, welcome aboard. We are on our way to a triple black hole system now. Just stopping for a quick scan of these high metal content and water world and ammonia worlds in this neutron system. There is, in the stream comments, there's a motion to have me do a voice pack for FDub. I would be... I'm flattered, and I am 100% on board for that. I'll do it. Why not? This is a 7 probe planet, so we're going to use the same pattern as the 6 probe planet from before, except we're going to add, as one might expect, a 7th. And what I do is I kind of go directly up, halfway between the line and the miss marker, and then left a little bit, right there.
Surface scanned by 50%.
And we may get it with 6, but that 7th should guarantee it. And we got it with
Surface
6.
scan complete.
So that 7th is irrelevant. But if we needed it, that would have gotten us that full map. Alright, so there were a bunch of terraformables here. So I'm going to do that one, this one, and then the water world, and then I think that was the ammonia world. Yep. So a couple more maps to make here. So those just joining the stream, bear with us for just a few moments while we complete these maps, then we'll head on over to the triple black hole. I think we've actually moved sectors here. I don't remember there being a U after the Q previously, but whatever, that's interesting. Maybe we're on a sector border hopping along. It would be nice if the probes could be supercharged with synthesis materials. Unfortunately, they can't. However, they can be engineered. So, unfortunately, being way out here, there's no way to do that. But when you're in the Colonia region or within the bubble, you can engineer the probes so that they don't need so many to complete a map. We got our 6 probes out. And knowing that that pattern works, we can safely set a course for the next terraformable. And in a moment, we'll get the pop-up on the screen telling us that the mapping is complete.
Surface scan complete.
And I always like doing that because I feel kind of like Tiger Woods when he makes a putt and he knows it's going in and he starts walking away before the ball drops in the hole. I feel kind of like that when I do this this style of mapping a planet. And people in the chat discussing mapping gas giants. I actually don't bother mapping gas giants. Is there a benefit to that? Do you get anything from those? I don't believe they give a whole lot of credit in terms of credits. Is there? I map the rings for mining, but what's is there a advantage to mapping the gas giants? Do you get anything from it? Oh, that's fair. Getting your name on the gas giant. Yeah, that makes sense. I could see that. Maybe I just don't have the patience to sit there, because the folks in the chat are right. It's 20 plus probes at a minimum to map a gas giant, which takes a while. And I don't have a pattern that works for 20. I'm mathematically certain that there is one, but I don't have one. And that's true. JP has also raised a good point. You do get, if you fully map every planet in a system, you do get a bonus from Universal Cartographics. So that's a valid reason to do that. Alright, that gets our high metals. Head on over to the water. Everything's all nice and bunched up.
Surface
that.
scan complete.
And JP's mentioned his JP's system of wonders, his 89 body system that he fully mapped. Says it took him 3 days. I believe it. It's a lot of mapping. Does anyone know what the record for number of bodies is? I know it's over 100. I know that. I don't know what the off the top of my head. I don't know what the record is. I think my personal best is right around what JP had. I think I might have been like 86. I guess I could have been a one-upper there. Well, my personal best was 90. You're 89. No, mine was 86, I'm pretty sure. I know systems with over 100 exist. I don't think I found one. And then finally we will head to the last one we need to map here, this ammonia world.
Surface scan
the
complete.
gravity well a little bit. That's got us. It's slowing us down. Yeah, we did move sectors. I remember, because the sector we were originally in was Theqa, Theqa, and we're in Theqa right now. Interesting. We must be on a border. We're border hopping. And then once we get this, I know this has been a bit of a delay, and I do apologize for that, but I did want to get these maps of the, given that water worlds and ammonia worlds are relatively rare in neutron systems, I wanted to grab the maps of them before moving on to our triple black hole system, and then we'll hit our black hole with neutrons that there were several of. So this will be the final map for this system that we'll grab, and then the next jump, I believe, is our triple black hole system. This one's 87.
Surface scanned by 50%.
That time we needed the 7th. There we go.
Surface scan complete.
Alright, moving right along.
Frameshift drive charging.
Triple black hole. I'm excited, you guys. I've been to a triple black hole system closer to the bubble right when I first started playing the game. I think it's a black cat's eye. No, it's not the cat's eye nebula. It's something else. But it's the cat's eye. It's a tourist destination. And I took a passenger mission to it in a Cobra. I have the same Cobra with me now. But back then it only went 23 light years at a time. I remember it was 320 some odd jumps each way. Okay.
System scan complete.
3 black holes. Alright, there's one. They're not super close to each other. I was kind of hoping they would be close to each other. They're not. Let's see how this system looks in the order review. 1, 2, 3 black holes. Oh god, that's so cool. Screenshot that, and then if I can get, there we go. So A and B are, I guess, decently close to each other, and then the C is way out there. Yeah, so these two are orbiting each other. This one's 12 solar masses. That's a decently big black hole. This one's 3. This one's 5. Let's go play this one. See if we can get, because we're still pretty high above the plane. If we can get the skybox between us and the black hole, we should be able to get a pretty freaking sweet screenshot out of it. So there it is. You can see the skybox starting to distort. Now remember, in real life these of course would be deadly, but in the game if you hit them it's not a big deal. Your ship will overheat a little bit if it runs hot. This Anaconda probably won't even start the alarms going off. I am caught in its gravity field. So we're going to kind of loop shame it, which is shameful, but I'm now on the wrong side of where I wanted to be. So what I'm trying to do right now is the galactic plane is below me. It's basically astern, and I want to get the black hole on the other side. So I may have just succeeded at that. This is rather difficult to do. The black hole is right there in the center, flying away from it. So what I'm going to attempt to do is basically face plant into it with a galaxy between, or on the other side. It'll make sense once I'm successful, because you'll see what I'm trying to do with the picture. I can't tell what the question in the chat. Dave has asked how massive are they. This one's 12 stellar masses. The B one is 3 stellar masses, and the other one is a little bit less than that. So this 12 stellar mass one is decently big. I mean, it's no Sagittarius A star, but it's decently big. You can see this. Yeah, we're getting that warping effect now. I don't want to hit it just yet. I'm trying to do. You can start to see where you see the sphere around it. That's kind of, it's not its exclusion zone. I'll hit the exclusion zone before I hit that, but you can see what I'm trying to do. I'm surfing it basically. Oh, well, now I'm pointing at the exclusion zone. Yeah, there we go. Now I've hit the exclusion zone. As you can see, that Anaconda doesn't care. bumping into it now. So 60 kilometers away, this is a relatively large black hole. I had, where the heck is the galactic plate? I don't know. I mean, look at it. I mean, that's decent. Yeah. I kind of like that. Look at it. It's not quite the shot I was hoping for, but it's not the worst either. I actually may have been successful in getting the entire galaxy lensed around it, because, let me just see, oh, there it is. Oh, that's trippy. That is trippy. Let's, oh, I wanted the other way. Bear with me. This is a little tough to do. I'm trying. No, I want to pitch the ship along with the camera. There we go. That's kind of cool, yeah? I don't have the best position for the shot I was hoping to get, although that's not bad. I don't want to bore everyone with me getting pictures. Let me just get one or two more here, and then we'll move on. I know there's a couple more things we want to visit. Yeah, that'll do. Okay. All right. Okay, so that's this triple black hole system. I was hoping they'd be a little closer together. They're not, but that's okay. Now, I believe the... I'm not going to leave it bookmarked because there's nothing else here. Now, we'll continue on to... we were doing anti-clockwise, right? We were going to go like that, right? Yeah. Yeah. So we'll head back over here to neutrons in the same system as the black hole. I am correct. Let's just check, make sure I've got a fuel star in there. I do. And ship may get a little warm when I do this.
Drive charging.
This is about as dangerous as black holes are. I'm getting a little bit cooked right now.
3, 2, 1.
So let's see what this black hole and a neutron look like.
Oh, damage.
We've got another ludicrous neutron.
System scan complete.
Okay. I dig it.
Warning. Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged.
Exit at your convenience. There we go.
Warning. Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive charging.
Hit an A-type star. We'll get some fuel. Check for biosites. I don't know. If do you want me to stop if I find biosites, or do you want me to continue on to this black hole with the neutron? I'll leave that up to the chat.
Fuel slipping.
16 bucks,
Warning, temperature critical. Fuel slipping complete.
That was a hot one. We've got a water world.
System scan complete.
Map that terraformable water world. I'm not going to bother with that one, just because it's so far away and we got places to be. Just going to grab that water world real quick. So I think what I'm going to do, we're half past right now. We're going to continue on to the black hole with a neutron, and we'll check out that. And then we'll head to the blue supergiant, and then we'll head back to the carrier for today's stream. I know we're already half an hour over, and I am starting to get a little bit of a need for dinner here. I know this is probably pretty late for several others as well. We have pretty much covered all the concepts. We haven't found any biosites, but again, filtering for blue stars, A, B, and O, looking for high metal content worlds, you will find them eventually. And then, of course, the Earth-likes that we found filtering on G, F, and K types. That's a good strategy. And then, of course, the sector naming. Just allowing the galaxy map to iterate through the heaviest systems in the sector will allow you to do what we're doing right now, which is scout Wolf-Rayets, black holes, and interesting neutrons. So we did manage to check all the boxes for finding needles and haystacks on the stream today. So I'm going to do the black hole with the neutron, and we'll do the supergiant that we found, and then that'll probably conclude the stream, and I'll hit all the other sites that we bookmarked on my own later, since those were all just variations on a theme. It was black holes with neutrons in various configurations, so I don't want to beat a dead horse doing that repeatedly. So we'll head to this one, and then we'll head to the blue supergiant, and then we'll call it a night for this tutorial Tuesday. So this next jump is going to be our neutron and black hole pair.
Warning. Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits.
Bam. It's above me somewhere. There it is.
Warning. Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged. Frameshift drive charging.
Dave has asked what's next week's topic. Next week's Tutorial Tuesday is going to be SRV aerobatics. Our waypoint next week has 2 low-gravity moons with geysers on them. I'm going to attempt to jump the SRV from one moon to the other. So that's going to be fun.
System scan complete.
Oh, darn. Well, we've got our black hole and we've got our neutron, and there's nothing else, sadly. So that's the neutron way over there. Not going to get much out of the view here. I was hoping it would be close to the black hole for a cool picture, but alas, it isn't. If I get a good picture from one of the other ones that was paired, neutron and black hole, I'll be sure to post those in the Nickelodeon in the Discord. This black hole is 7.7 solar masses, so a medium one as far as this game's concerned. There it is behind us. Kind of looks like somebody gave a swirly or something to the galaxy. But I was hoping the neutron would be close enough to get the neutron and the black hole in the same frame, but can't do it. Can't do it. So we'll go ahead and unbookmark that one. And let's go... Which one of these was the supergiant? That one? I don't remember. I glimpsed what looked like a planetary nebula, but I lost it. This isn't it. So a couple more black holes with neutrons. Again, we don't need to visit them all on this string. You know how to find them now, so I'll let you find your own, and I'll go visit those. Is this our supergiant? It is. It's 1,000 light years away. Of course it is. 7 jumps. We're going to buckyball this one.
Frameshift drive charging.
Buckyball, that's just, we're going to go as fast as we possibly can. I'm not stopping for anything along the way.
Warning. Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged. Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged. Frameshift drive charging.
Davis asked, are the cones ever pointed directly at you on arrival? I've never arrived into a cone. I've arrived pretty close. For safety reasons, it's usually a good idea to fly past the neutrons when that happens.
System scan complete.
And enter the cone on the opposite side, just because if you enter the jet stream while you're pointed at the star, there's a chance you could smash the exclusion zone while still in the jet stream, and that's almost always fatal. So avoid doing that where possible.
Warning. Temperature critical. Fuel scooping complete. Frameshift drive charging.
It is the same with white dwarfs, although the game will put you very, very close to a white dwarf if you're unlucky. Its exclusion zone being much bigger than the neutron. That's why with a white dwarf arrival, I always throttle down prior to arrival, which I don't typically do.
Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits.
Oh, come on. Give me that boost.
Warning. Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged. Frameshift drive charging.
And since we are headed to a scoopable star here, I'm not worried about the gas situation.
4, 3, 2, 1.
There's your answer, Dave. That's about as close as I've ever seen it land into or arrive into a system.
Warning. Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged.
So
Frameshift drive
note how
charging.
I went past the star to hit the jet cone on the other side for that. 39. I have to at least pull up the FSS for that. Hello, exclusion zone. Yes, please draw. Thank you. Lose all this data. The second to last star on the trip.
Warning, temperature critical. Fuel scooping complete.
Nope, nothing worth sticking around for. Okay.
Frameshift drive charging.
Blue supergiant. Look at that. I don't think I've ever seen that in the top right there. So I'm pretty excited. This is going to be a first for me. Ooh, that's bright. Look at that.
System scan complete.
Nothing here.
Fuel
A little bit of a bummer. Look how fast we're going around this thing.
Fuel scooping complete.
So, get out of cooking range. And get a picture of the IPX Fiat Lux underneath this. Ooh, supergiant. Wow, that is both big and bright. I am a fan. All right, that's quite the star. Let's just check out the deets on it. Curious how big it is. "51 solar radiuses. That is a huge star. Very nice, very nice. Sadly, since there's nothing else here, I'm not going to leave it bookmarked. But that was pretty and worth a trip. And now I'm just gonna head back to the carrier to conclude the stream here. So we got a bonus hour on today's stream. I'll go ahead and plot directly to the Omega Concern. Everybody's carrier. We got the Crazy Ivan. We got the Beast Within. The Silver's Landing. And, of course, the Omega Concern. I like it. I like it a lot. Alright, let's head on out. I'm going to cook a little bit since I'm so close to the star, but that's okay.
Ready to engage. 4, 3, 2, 1.
So we should have a pretty decent haul here for the exploration data. Got an Earth-like, got several water worlds, got an ammonia world, got plenty of high metal content, some
Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits.
My guesstimate is 20, 25 million.
Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits.
And if you just heard that from my COVAS, the frameshift drive has malfunctioned from all the neutron jumping that we're doing here. That's okay. It's back online.
Cannot comply.
There it is.
Frameshift drive charging.
That's what starts happening when it's below 80. Nothing to be worried about. It's not going to dump you out of Super Cruise or anything. It's just, you might have to hit the button to charge it a couple times before it cooperates. And as I said, it'll work all the way down to 0.
2, 1.
It won't work at 0, So if you get 2-0, your ship is going to go boom. So don't let that happen. JP has made a good point. Do not attempt to take your AFMU and repair the frameshift drive while you're in Super Cruise, because that ends with you going crashing out of Super Cruise.
Warning.
Not pleasant.
Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Module malfunction.
You won't die, but it isn't great. So if you do want to repair your FSD,
Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits.
make sure you drop to normal space
Malfunction.
before you try to do that.
Frameshift drive charging.
Oh, cool. We're going to be home on this next jump, so perfect.
4, 3, 2, 1.
The one downside of where Analog has left this parked is it's tough to tell which side of the neutron the carrier's on. And you do have to get rather close. I think it's on this side. And if I hit the exclusion zone, it is not the end of the world, as long as I'm not in the jets. If I'm in the jets, that's a bad time. Yeah, it is on this side. So, approach carefully. And your caution will be rewarded. There it is, home sweet carrier.
Welcome, Commander. Communications are open if you require docking access. Docking request accepted. You are welcome to approach.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, we've been cleared to land on landing pad 1 today. Our estimated cruise time is only another 45 seconds or so. So we do ask that you go ahead and please put those tray tables in the full upright and locked position. And make sure those seatbelts are securely fastened. Flight attendants, cross-check and all call.
Landing gear deployed.
This is operations. We're picking up solar flare activity. Expect disruptions. Over.
Whoop. Whoop. Oh dear. Oh dear. Well, I've ended it with a sloppy landing, but as I was saying at the beginning of the stream, that is sometimes how the cookie crumbles.
Docking accomplished. Clamps engaged. Welcome to this carrier, Commander.
Our home will quickly repair the integrity, but of course not the paint job. And let's see how much we made. Yeah, 20 million. It's pretty much on the nose there with that guess. I don't think I have 2 pages, or do I? That's how the Olympic crashes. I like that, JP. Yep. Just 1 page. 20 million. Not bad. Got my name and a bunch of cool stuff. So we found Wolf-Rayets. We found a blue supergiant. We found an Earth-like. Did not find any biosites, but we covered the process for finding them. And we found some black holes. Triple black hole system. Found a black hole with a neutron. So I'm going to go back out, see if I can get some more pictures in those other bookmark systems, see if there's any of those neutrons that are closer to the black hole. But just remember, if you're trying to find those needles in the haystack for Earth-likes, you're filtering on G-type stars, F-type, and K-type. G being the same type as our actual sun. And for the biosites, your odds are improved if you're searching on A and B stars for high metal content worlds, which tend to have the space pumpkins, the anemones or anemones, if you're on that side of the pond. For finding Wolf-Rayets and supergiants and black holes, punch the sector name and then AA-AH, and then just search on that. You'll find all the heaviest systems, or if you want to just iterate through all of the heavyweight systems, just punch in the sector name and search on that repeatedly, and you'll iterate through all in sequence of the heavyweight systems in the sector, which is how we found that supergiant and all those black holes just now. So that's going to conclude this particular Tutorial Tuesday. For those that stuck around for the whole stream for this extra hour, I do appreciate you very much. For those in the stream that are not part of the expedition, we'll close out with those links one more time, wildwest.space/expedition. There it is. JP's already ahead of me with that link. And wildwest.space/discord for the Discord chat. Of course, we'll be here again next Tuesday, as I mentioned, for Tutorial Tuesday with SRV aerobatics. We'll be attempting to jump from one planet to another, which is going to take quite some time, even if I am successful, just because we'll be doing it in normal space in an SRV. And we'll be back here again Thursday for Thirsty Thursday. Yes, the expedition carriers are full, but as you saw on the system map a moment ago, we do have two of our partner carriers in the system, the Beast Within, which belongs to Biox Patza, and the Crazy Ivan, which belongs to Derek DeJohns. And we'll be filling those up as they continue along the journey with us today. So that's going to be our Thirsty Thursday event this week. And of course, the PlayStation meetup will be at 1700 hours in-game on Saturday, not the 1800 as previously announced. And the stream will be along for the ride then. We'll see what we can find to do then. The PC meetup, I believe, is at 1800 on Saturday, and the Xbox meetup is tomorrow. So for those of us along for the journey, we thank you for your discoveries and contributions so far. The Nickelodeon channel has been filled with great photos, and all of the Discovery talk has been outstanding. And there's even more to find as we get farther away from settled space. So thank you everyone for your participation so far. Thank you to those who have stuck around for this stream. We will see you here Tuesday next week at 1800 for the usual Tutorial Tuesday. And until then, we will see you Starside.